Fourth pickup, Dreammaker. Let's see what they do want to go for. I mean, with the third pick, Lifestealer being there, GXR now going to be aware of what carry they're up against. I mean, definitely a very solid pick into the Batrider offlane, that's for sure. Still be a pretty big nuisance of this Batrider. Like, you do have that inbuilt rage, but yeah, it still has a cooldown. It's not just unlimited rage time, so you have to be very wary. But they will go for another counter towards the Batrider in that Legion Commander now. So you have two ways of purging it off. The rage plus the press the attack now. GXR, I'm sure they won't be too concerned about this. It's one of those things with newer teams that we see a lot, right? And that's them always reacting to the picks of GXR rather than say choosing what they really feel comfortable with. And that may kind of also be the case right now for Dreammaker. Again, I'm not 100% sure about these players on Dreammaker yet. We haven't watched them too much, but I dare say they are reacting a little bit here to what GXR are picking up. So that can be quite detrimental at the end of the day if they're not too careful.
Yeah, I think with the LC pick, there is some synergy here. Like with Lion, with Keeper of Light, you do have a lot of magic damage to get those initial dual wins, so you can kind of play around that. There is some counterplay from Galaxy Racer with the Omni Knight, so just Heavenly Grace and Guardian Angel can put a dent in the dual targets that Dreammaker wants to shoot for. They might have to prioritize jumping the Omni Knight first. Of course, with a Lifestealer, you do have a decent Infest Bomb once Blinks are up, so you can kind of run and gun that way, rushing the Blink in the LC. I think for GXR, going into the Monkey King, we've seen a lot of this today from SMG. This is something we've seen Inter Dream play once or twice, and he also tends to go for a more aggressive playstyle in the Monkey King. So it's just something we've seen the pods one shift to, just taking a little bit more early aggression out instead of just AFK farming. In this case, just build up to the Echo Saber, start to run around, scouting around with the tree dance and finding some kill opportunities. It is a good way of jumping the backline as well, with the mobility Monkey King has to catch the Keeper of the Light, if that is a concern. So they're kind of covering their bases here, and the matchup of Monkey King versus Lifestealer is a back and forth one. In Wukong's, the Lifestealer doesn't have a great time. All the added armor kind of takes away his passives for the most part. It doesn't feel great. And Monkey King does enjoy whacking high HP heroes because he just builds up Jingu, keeps hitting away. He wins out the right-click trade. So that's something Dreammaker will have to watch out for. I think they don't have a swap on hand to just break the Wukongs away. Maybe you could get the Solar Bind out to kind of pop the Monkey King off and get a good mischance off. But beyond that, it's going to be a bit tricky in managing In Your Dream in this game.
Oh, absolutely. Final pickup, Dreammaker. They are, arguably lacking a mid hero, unless we are just going to see the mid coddle. Could definitely be the case. In fact, it could more than likely be the case. See if they want to pick up another, like, position 5 or a position 4 here for Dreammaker. GXR on their end of things, it does seem like they are lacking the mid lane for Alacrity. Again, you already kind of mentioned this earlier, but he doesn't really seem to like running mid Batrider. They do always end up throwing it over to Mizu, who does seem to take pride in playing the offlane bat. So if he's more than happy, it seems like Alacrity would rather not. Dreammaker, though, still yet to make their last pick. I mean, do you think... In fact, never mind that, because it is going to be a mid coddle. They are going to go for what appears to be a position 5 Lich. That should mean a pos for Lion. You like the draft of Dreammaker, John? Do you think it has what it takes to beat a team like GXR?
I think they've got the tools to play with. I think because they protect their Keeper of the Light with the Night Stalker ban, you have to work a little bit extra harder on your Monkey Nyx to get that jump on that core. What I'm keen to see is how Alacrity manages that matchup, right? Like, Batrider was always a good response to Alacrity's heroes. He doesn't have the option for the Void Spirit. The only Spirit Brother left is like the Ember. Earth Spirit's there, but Earth Spirit mid has not been a thing, unfortunately for you, Mike, so probably not a Shaker mid. You could go wacky here and try Nyx mid, but I don't think the timings line up. Spike Carapace initial cooldown's a bit too long, so just in that aspect, you're not going to win out. Maybe you just look for something to hold the mid lane down, something that farms heavily, as the Monkey King, again, takes a more active position, so you could try TA if you want to. They go with the OD instead. So we get the Outworld Devourer, which is a good way of saving from the duels that might come out from Nevermind, as I can't pronounce his actual name. I'm sorry, Nevermind. That's a mouthful. We'll try. We'll try when we get in, but we'll see. Okay, no, Alacrity's on the Batrider, so this is a crazy day. He's playing Batrider. What's happening?
I don't know. I don't know. They've They forced him to learn, I guess. Alacrity, probably not going to be too happy about this, but he does have to play the bat. What is that set on the Bat Rider, by the way? I haven't seen that one in ages. Neither is Alacrity, probably, because he never plays the hero, but... well, have a gander.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Draft-wise, I think the OD closeout from GXR is a genius response. It deals with Life Stealer down the line. It gives you a good dual save. Once you get the Shard, I think the Shard's going to be extra value here. Shard plus Ags. So, 2 saves. And you can kind of just walk away. It's so dumb. Why? Why? Like, I swear, Earth Spike doesn't work. Because I've played line against it, and I felt like I wasn't stunning.
Well, he's in the Astral Imprisonment, John. Why would you be able to stun him? Just because he can walk away in Astral Imprisonment doesn't mean that he's suddenly out of it. Of course he can walk away, John. That's called Balancer. Welcome to Dota 2.
This is what it is. Still... Dreammaker, straight into the fire. This lineup does have win conditions to play with. It does play extra fast. You do want to kind of play with the nukes. Try to go for those early dual wins on... Okay, let's try this. Chantavisuk. Chantavisuk.
No. You don't get to do that.
Okay,
don't pronounce it properly, because you know I'm not going to be able to pronounce it properly. Isn't this meant to... Who is this? This is meant to be...
Nevermind. It's Nevermind.
Nevermind.
Yes.
Well, how am I going to pronounce that? Nevermind?
I was having a chat with our admin as well, because I was looking at the roster sheets, and I noticed, I didn't see his IGN. Someone just split his name into 2. It's like, all right. I thought he'd still use Nevermind, but apparently not. So we're going to have to work around this, see if we can keep that conscious. But a beautiful
so how did
name,
you pronounce it?
Sure. Chantavisuk. Chantavisuk, I think.
Chantavisuk is what I'm getting. Okay. Well, that's. I don't know if that's gonna work for me, John. It's we'll find out. Well, I guess I could try. If his name is that in the game, supposedly that's what he wants to use. Goodness me.
Still, I think going back to the point in the draft, like again, they have to play around the dual wins. They have to kind of build up on this LC. Try to get the snowball, start with combinations like dual plus illuminate, super scary, dual plus finger, dual plus even the frost. Chain Frost coming out is fairly strong, so they've got early level 6 spikes that they can abuse and just play against quite nicely.
Well, JoeCam copying the level 1 Illuminate and lost half his HP, as is tradition with the Keeper of the Light, so he'll just walk off back down to the bot lane and doesn't want a bar of the mid lane, of course. You are going to have Mizu there on the OD, the off-lane OD there with JoeCam. And, we saw this from FBZ yesterday, this off-lane OD. Going to be against CDR and Trazam, or Trazam. The Lich Lifestealer, pretty classic kind of combination to have, as you can abuse the slows of the Lifestealer plus the Frost Shield. And of course now Startling Gaze has become even better. So much slow available here against Mizu, and this could actually prove to be quite a difficult lane for the side of GXR.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get the harassment off. Trazam is doing a good job of putting his body forward, just harassing out Mizu. You can't really go for the trades. Arcane Orb is good damage. Level 1, it has a cooldown. It costs a ton of mana. You don't have the Essence Flux to sort of balance out that mana cost, so it's not as spammable for Mizu. And that's something that Dreammaker can abuse. You can see JoeCam's just going for the creep pull. He wants to hit this level 2 timing, maybe looking for the mana burn against the Lich, or just the Spike Carapace to counteract that damage and control. And once he gets the leveled spike, it should feel a lot smoother. They do sacrifice the Courier though, and that still had a salve. It didn't even go out to Mizu, so a nice pickup from Trazam, just punishing for that pull.
It's certainly going to be a pretty difficult lane. We can already kind of see it. They're going to split up the lane though, and I think that's one way to play it, is just keep CDR away from his support Lich, and well, that way Mizu can actually do some work here on this OD. We'll have a look at the mid lane as well, where you will see Rose against Alacrity. Again, Alacrity, we don't get to see the man playing this Bat Rider very often. Unfortunately for him, he is going to be playing into the mid-coddle. So I don't care if I've never heard of Rose's name before. He's playing mid-coddle. It's going to be pretty annoying for Alacrity, but he's going to go for a Firefly now and try to punish this at level 3. Rose is going to get divin underneath the tier 1 tower. He's got such high movement speed on that coddle, but it won't matter because Alacrity is going to be able to secure the kill. And look at this farming efficiency. John just pulls the creep wave over as well. It's a bit of Firefly damage on those, and well, it's still Bat Rider. You know, he still just wins the lane.
Radiant's middle
There's
tower
not
is
much you
under
can really
attack.
do as the Keeper of Light there. Maybe you get the fast boots. You start building up probably a casual stick to wand will really help the cause here. As Alacrity's just going to look to do that. Now, even with the kill in the Keeper, he can still clear out his side camp. It's not fully blocked. They did get the sentry to defend. So you're still going to get the good farm scaling on Rose. It's just a matter of how much are you going to give Alacrity. You just have to be cautious about the spacing. If you can do that, then you're still going to hit that 6k timing by the 10-minute mark. It's still a cock. You're not going to stop that absurd farm.
Here we go again, though. Alacrity intending to stop it, John. He'll dive the tier 1 again this time, I reckon. As he's got more levels up and he's got more damage up. Rose is going to get burnt to a crisp. Alacrity picking up his second kill of the game. And you know what, John? I think Alacrity might start to enjoy this hero.
Radiant's middle
Yeah,
tower
he's
is under
he's
attack.
giving himself the well played. So he's very happy. He's just cheering himself. No one's giving him tips. No one's saying, "Hey, you're doing a great job against Coddle." It's like, fine, I'll cheer for myself.
Yeah.
He's getting more all up, and well, I just said it, but as a Keeper of the Light, you can still get farm. Just don't go up close. You can play with Illuminate from range. You can't give Alacrity openings like that.
Certainly not. Over the top lane, Polison being chased down right now
Radiant's middle tower
by
is under
Nevermind
attack.
or Chanta Visuk. He might find a courier here. Doesn't get it in the end. Nice little micro there from Polison. Now LC is going to have to back off. Of course, In Your Dream on his Monkey King in the safe lane. And there's also meant to be CZY on the Lion. Only just going back to, I believe, stack the triangle, but turns out I believe that was warded anyway, so unable to get that off. He has to bring out some sentries and try to sort that out. You can already kind of see a bit of a difference in skill levels almost. It's just everything's kind of happening so fast on the side of GXR. The CZY barely has the mana to buy a sentry right now. And that's a big downfall for the Keeper of the Light. If you are this Coddle, Rose is going to want some stacks in the triangle to be able to catch up. And as things are right now, he's not going to have them.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit painful playing that catch-up game for him if he doesn't get control in the triangle. The top lane for GXR is also going pretty smoothly. In Your Dream can trade really nicely with Trentat Visuk. You can just build up the Jingu Mastery stacks. He's got the protection of the Omni Knight with Heavenly Grace. He's not going to be too worried about harassment here, even as the levels go up. Like, you could try to go for the Earth Spike, Hex play. Paulson still counteracts it, so you might have to just jump the Omni Knight instead, and if you do, Paulson doesn't mind. Like, he's the support, he's supposed to put his body forward, he intercepts the pull as well, so not even able to really maximize that. A little range creep should go, so that's a small win.
Certainly. Doesn't look like he really got denied anyway, so I think Paulson still got the XP for that range creep. Bot lane. Astral is out, CDR. He's going to be just fine. Pretty hard to kill him off on the Lifestealer. But Mizu, he won't mind. He doesn't necessarily want to kill the LS. He just wants to make sure that he doesn't have the most comfortable time farming. So CDR is second in CS right now. Actually out farming In Your Dream on the Lifestealer. So regardless of Mizu trying to harass him out, he's still having a pretty darn fantastic time. And of course, he has the rage up, so chances are he's probably not going to die. Unless we might see a rotation from the Batrider, but even then, it's probably just not going to happen as CDR will try to chase down Mizu now. Trazam, he does get slowed and does end up dying. Mizu might just die as well, though, as CDR pops the rage and secures the kill. Meanwhile, Polison ends up dying in the mid lane, as Rose is able to get the kill on the Coddle. So a 2-for-1 trade across the map, definitely very favorable for the side of Dreammaker. Decent way to get this game started.
Yeah, they're starting to build up. I think that initial CS lead they have on your heroes is going to be a big part of them hitting some early farm timings. They got the D-word off on the triangle, so there's some creeps for Rose to farm up now. And as soon as your Coddle hits that travels timing, which is still lined up, you can start saving up for Dagon, you can start showing up the side lanes, playing around with your stun combinations, look for the dual opportunities, although that's not going to hold back GXR, they're still running in.
That it won't. Alacrity going to try and rush forward. CZY. Well, you can try to deny yourself off. It's not going to work out, though. Alacrity and Polison, they'll aggro the creeps and make sure they don't actually hit the Lion. And eventually CZY is just going to have to die.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
On the brighter side, Rose still doing a pretty darn good job of farming. Still highest in the net worth board. It is mid-Coddle after all. Yeah, I mean, all things being said and done, I don't think Dreammaker's particularly lost these lanes. In fact, the lane we're looking at right now, the bot lane, they've definitely won it out as Jocam. It's going to get taken down by CDR. They are going to find Trezam, but I think every kill that goes the way of CDR is going to be much more worthwhile for the side of Dreammaker.
Yeah, it feels a lot better for them. Again, their lineup is a little bit quicker paced in timings. They want to play fast without Kotl. They want to get the dual wins. As long as they're winning out in lane and slowing down this progression from GXR, they're going to hit their item spikes. They're going to be able to harass out, look for the opportunities to get some kills. I think you will have to watch for the threat from the ults, though.
Yep, jump in. Still, Gaze is going to be there. Trezam trying to go onto In Your Dream. The Monkey King being caught out by the Earth Spike, and he might just be gone. In fact, they do have the damage, and a jewel comes out right after. Perfect play. Dreammaker, great rotations out to the top lane. First bit of jewel damage going to the way of our LC. And I gotta tell you, I wasn't expecting that from Trezam, but it does pan out. However, I mean, in the meantime, CDR does end up dying on the Lifestealer, so it's kind of a bit of a trade across the map.
Yeah, it's not the cleanest trade. You're still ahead there on Dreammaker's side, as you do get the dual win. You can try to shove in the top just a bit, but Chantavisuk is all by himself now.
That he is. In Your Dream gonna move in. You know, I was kind of just praising them, but in the end, GXR does kind of return the favor, and now Rose is going to be chased down here by Alacrity and Jocam, and well, there's no real running from this. Impel's going to land, and they'll get another keeper kill. Meanwhile, towards the north, Polison going after Trezam. Is In Your Dream now going to dive right in. Trezam, he's going to try, but there is no surviving. They'll find 3 kills for the price of nothing on the side of GXR. Maybe a 4th, in fact. Chantavisuk going to move in. CZY there, but in the end, I think he's not really going to find too much, and we'll have to be somewhat careful as Alacrity has the Firefly back up. I'll leave him be.
Yeah, just a bit of time being bought out there. With the sports tied up top, you do open some space for Mizu, although he's being jumped now.
That he is. Not really a great way out for him. CDR does actually get Astraled up. It's like he had already used the Rage early on, so he couldn't really finish off the kill fast enough, and eventually Mizu does get the Astral. Will mean he does survive, but I suppose you can't just consistently continue being aggressive here onto Mizu. If you do get a nice gaze off, or if you can break the gap of CDR. For now, Trezam, he's just going to keep making sure that this lane, the equilibrium does go back the way of the Lifestealer, but Mizu, Midi Hammer up. The Rage was there anyway, and I don't think it's very easy to time it with a Lifestealer. I'm not sure if it works the same way as a BKB with Rage, but I believe Rage, or at least BKB, will always take priority over the Meteor Hammer flying down.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like tick rate, if it's on the same, it's all about hierarchy, and Lifestealer is pretty hard to do it against. It's still level 1 Rage, so if you do manage to see it used early, you could just go for different stunts afterwards, just wait it out and kind of play with your next stun instead, but still rather hard. The side of Dreammaker are still kind of in the game. You know, they're not too far behind in farm. That timing on Rose is up, Travel's up, Dagon not too far off, level 1, and his damage output will skyrocket with level 1 Solar Bind up. So they could look to just posture around, look for the dual opportunities. Chantavisuk is saving up for the Solar Crest into the Blink. Still a ways off from both items. Looks like he might just go for the Blink first, stay at the Medallion. And again, once you have that dual initiation, it's very easy to find wins as long as you catch out some of the saves from GXR.
Bottom lane, Mizu. So he's going to be chased down again. Solar Bind was there to slow him up, and Illuminate is going to be channeled as now CDR and CZY trying to cut him off, but rotations are coming in. They found the Nyx Assassin now, but Alacrity has shown up with the Firefly. He wants to at least get another kill here as they get CZY down. In fact, In Your Dream now's joined in. They brought Chantavisuk to try and help out. Press the attack is going to cancel the lasso. And that might be enough. CDR, in the meantime, he just keeps farming. He's not even bothered by the side of GXR. As Impel does not connect onto Rose, he'll be able to outrun it. In the end, 1 hero does drop for Dreammaker. There was 10 heroes down at that bot lane for a moment. GXR, they are going to back off, and so will Dreammaker.
Yeah, it's a bit more time wasted from GXR as they don't really find the big kills they want to. The side of Dreammaker for their part, still finding farm. They are still in the area though, Trazam. Ooh, nice cut.
Very nice cut onto In Your Dream. Joe Cam having a look around. Chantal Bissouk gonna get hit by the Impale. Still pretty hard to kill off on the LC, and In Your Dream, he wants to go for the easier kill. He'll settle for the Lich, and he'll get it. Chantal Bissouk trying to help out with the press the attack, but it wasn't really enough. Would have never been. So they do get another kill for the side of GXR.
It's interesting to see this build on In Your Dream, going for the fast Maelstrom instead of the Echo Saber. So he does get a little bit more farm potential out with this item as well, but it still enables him to play fast. So you can still have that presence up front, still get the damage off for his team. They're lining up for a bit of a push in the bot lane. Dreammaker is doing the same thing up top. CDR is up there with the armlet, so he can kind of front line. Not too much pressure on him to cop the hits. It's a bit of a slower process for a Lifestealer, but the tier 1 top is already quite low. So they should be able to win out that trade and get that earlier, as Rose is defending bot. And with the D push you have with a Keeper of the Light, it's a bit tougher to get that initial push going.
That it is. This GXR draft, like, it's very reminiscent of what Boom was running yesterday. It's a bit of a slower draft, but you can certainly try and get aggressive as Alacrity. He gets stunned up, Chain Frost is there, they gaze him up as well, and he tries to survive, but in the end will have to drop. As Mizu trying to run from CZY. Joe Camp going to be around, Meteor Hammer going to fly in, but it was mistimed. He's trying to avoid the rage from CDR. CZY still going to drop. CDR, he will have to back, but Mizu is going to keep the chase up. Can they kill him though? I doubt. CDR, Armlet, Rage, both available, so he will just back with that. The NGXR, they still claim a kill, but they did lose Alacrity in the process.
Yeah, it's a good kill for Dreammakers to still take. I don't think they're going to be too upset.
Oh, Paulison. Classic Coddle, but Paulison puts the Heavenly Grace, turns his back, and looks at Alacrity. If he's going to die, he doesn't want to stare at the killer. In the end, he does survive.
Yeah, bit on edge there. The damage output now of Rose is pretty damn high. Dagon level 2 up and running. So it's that spike for the Keeper of the Light. They need to be aggressive. I think I'd like to see more duels coming out for Chantal Bissouk. He only has one win. Probably just waiting for that blink. You blink in, you duel, you illuminate, you finger. Very easy to find the damage stacking up, and you can just play with that momentum. GXR though, they're smoked up here.
They are. Chantal Bissouk will be the target for GXRs. They get the Astral off. Meteor Hammer should fly in just fine. They even, well, I believe that was actually the Pig Stick out from our Legion Commander. Not going to work out in his favor. That GXR finding another kill. You know, that net worth lead as well. It is still the way of Dreammaker, but that's with the mid-coddle. You know, if you factor that in, it's probably faster than an Alchemist right now in terms of net worth. So definitely really bad news for Dreammaker to only have a very slight net worth lead with that mid-coddle on their side of things.
Yeah, it's not quite the advantage they'd want to have on hand. They lose their bot tier 1, which isn't a big issue as they already took the top tier 1. They've got room for CDR to kind of farm around there. But that does open up more avenues for aggression on GXR side. Like, yeah, Alacrity's still playing tag. He's actually rushing the BKB. So once the BKB is up, all your control, all your damage with the Keeper sort of dissipates. And that just makes it easier for Alacrity to run up, try to get some napalm off, use the Firefly, look for the lasso. I think he might want to jump Chantal Bissouk first, take out the LC, prevent the pressy attack from being an issue, and they can go from there. So just one BKB is needed for GXR. Still a ways off, maybe about 400 gold off until that's up and running. He does opt for the blink first, so maybe feeling like the protection's not fully necessary. Just the jump ability onto that LC.
Alacrity hanging around. Blink Danger's up, and Chantal Bissouk, he's going to be cowed out into the Meteor Hammer. He's going to try with the press the attack, but they've got the ulti and the Astral still. The rotations are in, and they should at least be able to get Mizu down, and they will. Mega kill streak going to the way of Rose. He'll be very thankful for that on the Coddle. That will give him even more gold to go ahead and finish off that Dagon. They've got to try and defend that mid lane, and on the tier 1. It's still going to be very healthy. Plenty of time for Rose to rotate and clear out the creep wave. GXR, it seems like they aren't 100% ready to commit again without Lasso, although I say that because if they want to try and move in with this Firefly, Rose, he's going to be the main target, but he'll just turn around onto Polison now with the finger out. Well, that's a big boundless strike, though. In your dream, with the Wukong's command down, they are at least going to be able to clear out 3. Really bad start for GXR, but in the end, a 3-man boundless from Kami-sama himself. They get it done, in fact, Alacrity. Looking to move in further. He doesn't have the backup to really follow up onto this LC, so they'll let him go. But GXR now 8-18, and they do take over the net worth lead.
Yeah, it's going back and forth, but again, when you have a net worth lead over Keeper of the Light, it's like the Alchemist, like he said. It's not a good sign for the team with the Koppel, as you tend to have a bigger lead with that hero not quite lining up there for Dreammaker. I think while you get this Koppel farm up as well, you're sacrificing some of your Lifestealer farm. So the scaling, the timings coming through from CDR is a bit slower than you'd want. And that is something GXR can play around with. Like, they're just comfy enough to run forward with their Batrider. Dreammaker are clumped up. They don't have the finger. They do have the Chain Frost and Duel ready. They need that Blink to fly in onto Shantavusuk first. It does look like it's in his courier. No, he skips a Blink. So it's going to be a bit harder to get the duels. I think that's something that simplifies the fights for them. We'll see if Shantavusuk can get the work done with all duel.
Yeah, Lasso out with the Firefly. Also going to be there to back him up. He'll try and use the pig out to try and get out, but the Boundless Strike again going to cut him out of this game. GXR looking to hold that mid lane as CDR moving in with the rest of his team. Rose, that's a lot of damage coming in now with that flame break, but he's going to be able to back just in time as the Chain Frost does bounce through. Polison just about to die, but gets lucky with the bounce. Meanwhile, towards the south, Rose, he's already died on Alacrity. He'll just keep going on the Batrider. He gets CZY to boot, and now CDR. He just needs to run. Meanwhile, towards the north, Trezam, he does end up dropping to boot. So 4 for nothing is the trade in the mid lane. And they might even find more. They're still having a look around. But it does seem like they are going to have to commit for that mid-tier 1 before they can really go past it.
Just going to be forcing that push out. Respawns aren't too long, so Dreammaker might have a couple of supports up, but without the Keeper of the Light, it's a bit harder to actually see them going for that full defense. So a 4K lead coming out from GXR. Looking at In Your Dreams farm, this guy's so quick. When Kami-sama's online today, Scotty is pretty much up. He's got the gold for it. So that, 2-3 minutes we left him alone, he suddenly comes out, super farmed, and just has the control, has the stats to start standing in front. And it's just a scary prospect when you've got this much farm, only within a K of that Koppel. You just don't have that lead at all in Dreammaker to hit that timing.
Yeah, GXR looking to move in. Dreammaker making it hard. Nice little spike carapace there from Joe Camp. In the end, GXR. They might find CZY. He does also back off to the other side of that mid lane. So, looks like they are going to find Trezam. Earth Spike way off the mark, and now the Lasso, they've got Rose. It's a massive target to pick out. Rose, he's going to try and get out of that Wukong's, but there's no chance. In Your Dream with a double again, and they're on to CZY now. Earth Spike, it's going to land on 1. Is it even going to matter? CDR, he's going to try and fight and force them back, and he does do so. But still just massive deaths for the side of Dreammaker as Mizu. Trying to set up for more kills. Boundless is there. Joe Camp with the Impale. They will get another. As In Your Dream, he wants to keep going, but he won't dive too far past that tier 2. Play with a bit of caution. They've got to be careful. I mean, they've got a 6k net worth lead now. You definitely don't want to find yourself throwing it back the way of Dreammaker.
Yeah, there's still windows of opportunity for Dreammaker to abuse. Like, if they find that big kill on the Monkey King, they could start trying to pour some more money onto CDR. He's trying forward the Desolator now on the Lifestealer. That's going to help him deal with all the armor that IYD has in his Wukongs. And their map space is limited. The triangle is being shared between a Lifestealer and a Koppel, and That's just not the situation you want to find yourself in. You can't get enough farm on both these heroes to hit a nice item spike at the same time, sharing just one spot. Paulson, he's just standing.
Oh, there he is. Paulson. Thanks for all the damage. Shazam, he's going to end up dropping. Rose, oh, that's a nice Earth Spike. But not nice enough. It's Mizu. They are going to surround CZY. And Rose, he is still going to drop to Alacrity. And this is that part where the experience really pays off between the two teams. You're seeing GXR. I mean, they've been in the pro scene, these players, for such a long time, and it makes all the difference. Dreammaker. Still doing a fantastic job considering everything, but it's looking rougher and rougher as time goes on. As now Mizu. We caught Chantar Visuk for a second there, but in the end, GXR, they just want to get chip damage onto that tier 2 tower. Never mind, they're going to jump in with the lasso right onto that Legion Commander. Impel to follow up, and there is no way out for our OC. As now Mizu, he has the full axe up. This is when it becomes increasingly hard to actually get any kind of team fight your way.
And just the double saves for trapping up 2 big cores that are very easy to kite around, building up the mana difference for the Santis Eclipse drop. It's going to be really nice as well. Disappointed that Mizu's not going for the shard immediately. He is actually just saving up for an Andisk, so that's the smarter play, but not the danker play. Also, of note here, Mike, no Fey Grenade for Alacrity, unfortunately for him. So he's not getting the full balance experience as well. Gosh, we were so lucky to see that once. I wish it would happen again, you know? It's like every time we see cores getting Brigands played, and getting the mask as well for lifesteal, but, you know, Bat Rider, I guess, Ice Frog feels like it's a 50-50 roll if you get the full power of it.
Oh, don't make a mistake. Don't mistake them, John. Brigand's Blade is still much more balanced than the Fey Grenade with Bat Rider is. I mean, it's Fey Grenade with Bat Rider is just stupid. It's ridiculous. You get like 3 stacks of sticky bot lane. So they have found Chantar Visuk again. Back to my small monologue, John. You get 3 stacks of sticky napalm with the Fey Grenade on top. That's 100 DPS per second for 7 seconds. Just with 3 sticky napalm stacks.
Yeah, isn't it nice? Isn't it balanced?
Yeah, absolutely. I've started playing Bat Rider, John. I'm a Bat Rider player now.
Look at you, flavor of the month, Mike. Still smoke out from GXR after that kill, looking to rotate into the triangle, maybe take the Roshan after a pickoff. We'll see who they find. It is a bit of a blind smoke. They don't have the vision up. Dreammaker, they've only really got their line, but the Cockle would be a very juicy kill if Rose stays too long.
Well, CZY doesn't really want to die like this, but he'll have to take the gank as Jokam just burst him down, and now they'll look for another. Rose, he's in the tree line, but CZY is going to have a quick DC. And Rose, I mean, he's already halfway through his TP, so he should be just fine. But we do have time for me to complain more about Fey Grenade. So yeah, as I was saying, in fact, I say 3 stacks of sticky napalm, but if you have 3 stacks, you're doing about 110 damage per second for 7 seconds. So just approximately 800 damage with a Fey Grenade and 3 sticky napalms. Now, mind you, you're still chasing them down this whole time, applying more sticky napalm, throwing flame breaks at them, which, by the way, flame break lasts less of a duration than Fey Grenade. Well, actually, no, apparently it doesn't. It lasts 8 seconds, but you get my point. So for a whole 8 seconds, you're copying 2 sources of DPS, amplified up by sticky napalm, and there's just no chance of survival. And you might say, well, Mike, it's still RNG. You've got to find the Fey Grenade. But what is it, like 5 out of 20? So you got a 25% chance or something? Is there even 20 neutral items in the tier 2 section? How many are there?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12.
12.
So it's a 1 in 12.
So
yeah.
No, not 1 in 12, John. You've got five opportunities to find.
Oh, right. 5 in 12. There you go.
Yeah.
Bad at maths.
Ridiculous.
Yep. Don't forget the vision's there. So you're burning out and you're under vision.
Yeah. For 7 seconds.
Yep. Good stuff. Like, remember, the ults that used to give vision when you mark them, like, say, Track used to, Corrosive Haze used to, they don't anymore. Not direct vision like the Fey Grenade does, so, yeah.
I had people on Twitter trying to explain it to me as if it made sense. Like, they were like, well, it's pretty balanced, you know. It makes sense because it's his Batrider's attack damage. I hope you go against Batrider in your pump that knows what he's doing. We'll see how much sense it makes once you have to deal with it.
I remember as well, it works with Ogre Magi, which sounds dumb, but if you build a physical Ogre with 2 Divines, it doesn't happen, but you can imagine just a free attack that multicasts with Divine damage. Roshan being taken by GXR, double damage and IYD makes this fast. The scan is there, but they're a bit too late in the respawns.
Oh, lasso out, Rose. He was trying to get the Illuminate through the Roshan pit, but he's just going to die for that. Bad news as now the Astrals are coming through. Nice tree break there onto the Monkey King. However, Chain Frost only going to bounce once. Not even going the other way is now Heavenly Grace going to keep In Your Dream safe and he can get right to work. CDR, he's going to try and man fight, but how do you? You are just surrounded In Your Dream. He's got the time to spam voice lines as he auto-attacks this Life Stealer. On to Chantar Visuk. No way out for him, John. Media Hammer mistimed again by Mizu. But don't worry, Mizu, nobody saw it. Apart from In Your Dream, apparently. Full team wipe.
Yeah, all across the map, they find all the kills on GXR's end. 18k lead, 8-37. As GXR is just hammering on the accelerator now, going full speed. The side of Dreammaker, they had a really early time they had to play with. Right, they had great dual combinations that never came out. There's still no blink up on Chantabisuk. He's just opting for the Heaven's Halberd. Still hasn't finished it. Trying to go for the Ag Shard next for the BKB. And they just can't handle it. Like, they only have the supports to defend for now. They tap out, call the GG. 27 minutes in, GXR. Dominant show up against Dreammaker. But we talked about the matchup, right? Like, this is a big test for a team like Dreammaker. They are still fairly new. The only name that we recognize is really Chantal Visuk, as you know, Nevermind, as a sub in, I believe, 496 or Motivate Trust, one of the two. And everyone else, maybe Chidori, we know, because, again, you made jokes about Naruto that I don't get. But this is a test straight into the fire for them, right? Like, just like YG yesterday, GXR is a very tough opponent, a very high caliber opponent to go up against. And you put it this way yesterday, like, the harder the game, the more there is to learn. So we'll see if they do manage to pick up. I'm looking at the lobby. It looks like everyone's mixed up in the lobby, but yeah, like, we'll see if they can shake it off, get some of those lessons in, maybe play faster when they have a draft like that, and just go from there.
Yeah, I mean, that whole, you know, the harder the game, the more to learn. I say that when I'm versing Smurfs in my games, John. I don't really mean it. It's just what I tell myself to keep myself sane. Nevertheless, we are going to head into a short break, and right after that break, we'll be back with Game 2 between GXR and the side of Dreammaker. See you then.